Faith has a new frequency. The Spirit of Huntsville. KHSPLP, Huntsville, Texas. Spirit 94.3.
Just for you, Josh. I got your old school music going this morning.
I love it.
Are you digging this?
Yeah. It gives Karate Kid vibes.
There you go, man. Welcome in, everybody. Joshua Mahshi hanging out. Pastor Jason was on the way, but he had to turn around. They had nothing super to worry about or anything. Just he had to turn around and take the kids to school this morning. So we said, don't worry about it. Everything is A-okay. Hey, we want to welcome all of you in as we get rocking and rolling here. It's a little bit different vibe today because we are back for the second day in the old stewed. Yeah. Is that what young people would say? Like they just leave the letters off instead of studio, we would just say stewed.
Yeah, for sure.
Good to see you, man.
Likewise.
Welcome back to the other side of the table.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like feeling like we're back in this old? It feels old school back in here.
Yeah, it gives like nostalgic vibes.
Yeah, it gives.
Because even the lights are not here.
Yeah, the lighting isn't that great. We have an empty chair here. You know, we always keep an empty seat. We always want somebody just to walk in, and we've got two here today that we're going to have on the show in a little bit. But we do want to welcome you in, and also we want to welcome back in our audience on Spirit 94.3. We weren't able to put the show on FM yesterday just due to some technical hurdles that we had to scramble and get things set up. Our new studio is under renovation. How does that happen? 2 months in and we're under renovation again. It's not a bad thing, though. There's some, we're in one of the most historic churches in the state. I mean, this church is one of the oldest Baptist churches in the state of Texas. In fact, Sam Houston went here. The bell outside he gifted to the church. He and Martha went here. And so when you think about that, you think about there is a lot of things that could go potentially wrong with this building.
Yep. And
one of the contractors who goes to our church, very good man that helps us out, Brian, I was messaging him last night, and he says, well, we hope to have everything wrapped up by next Tuesday. Well, that's good news because Thursday we're going to start preparing for a new show on Spirit Radio, and I'll tease that a little bit. It is going to be called Can I Get a Witness? And that's all I'm going to tell you, and it's going to be great. And it's going to involve some of the great folks at TDCJ. So I'm just throwing that out there. This has been something in the works for a while. And you know what? I'm so thankful I'm not doing it, which is wonderful. That was the idea of this station is let's bring people on where they can learn it and they can roll with it and bless the community, just like you guys have done with Empowered Youth.
Yep.
So we're excited. That's going to be now. It may not officially launch next Thursday, but the planning and preparation for the show will officially launch next Thursday. Is that okay to say the planning is going to launch?
Yeah.
They call that in radio, there's something called stunting. Have you ever heard of that, stunting?
No.
What do you as a young person, if you hear the word stunting, think of?
Like actors when they have a stunt double?
Well, stunting in radio is where a station comes online and they don't really talk about it too much, and they do something over and over and over for days or weeks leading up to it. Now, when we launched Spirit, we didn't do any stunting. We didn't put on some random thing or whatever. We we flipped a switch at midnight and we were on. So there's no stunting for this program, but we are teasing that there's going to be something coming soon. So it's going to be pretty cool. Well, we do have a couple of guests. We're going to bring them on in just a few moments. Tiffany Michelle joining us. She has an incredible nonprofit here in this community. I'm not going to tell you the name of it until she comes on. And also Jack Durish, a good friend of the program and an author, also a veteran, and we appreciate Jack. He was the former post commander of the VFW here and has done such an incredible job in our community, and so we'll have them in just a few moments. But Josh is hanging out for a little bit. He'll be here at the beginning, and then you'll hang back out with me at the end if that's all right. But, hey, man, it's the Collegiate Day of Prayer. I wanted to highlight that real quick. It's a really important day, not just here for Sam Houston for the third year in a row, but literally for the entire nation and also the globe. This is a really big movement that's been taking place for a while now.
Yep. Last week, Ty talked about something. He said there's a revival going on in SEU in Florida, and they had to cancel classes because they were just so immersed in worshiping the Lord and just pouring out to the Lord. Like a lot of people were confessing their sins. A lot of people were rededicating their lives. A lot of people are giving their lives to Jesus. And there was a revival in that college. And so we are praying for a revival here at Sam Houston and across colleges in Texas. It's going to be great. I know last year I heard the Lord calling me to go and share the gospel with my friend in Lebanon. And then for a long period, I ignored that until like he made it super clear that I can't ignore it anymore. And so that's how I went to Lebanon. So last year on this day.
Now, full disclaimer: Josh is originally from Lebanon too,
Yeah.
so it's not like you went
Yeah.
went for the first time.
No. Yeah. I'm from there, and usually, just 'cause of the way I am, like Bear said something whenever I first met him. He said, "I don't have a lot of non-believer friends because either they like stop talking to me because I'm trying to share the gospel with them, and they're like I don't need this, and then they stop, or they convert." Or they become a believer, and so I feel the same way. But I do have like a handful of like really close friends who are non-believers.
Yeah.
And one of them was Mark in Lebanon, and Mark is really awesome and wholesome, and I've shared the gospel with him before, and he still hasn't accepted Christ into his life, but he wants to be, like he said. Like, I'm not ready yet to give up my lifestyle for Jesus. And so I'm praying for him, and, like, he's always on my heart. And every time I think about Collegiate Day of Prayer, I think about him.
Think about him on it, yeah. Well, man, that's one thing I love about you, Josh. You were so relatable with so many people. And I get, and I have to stop and pause for a moment because every time I talk to you, I think, man, I'm talking to this, like, elder college student over here. Josh is only 19. I was telling my wife that the other night. I said, did you know Josh is only 19? She goes, what? I said, yeah, he's only 19. I'm sitting here treating him like he's like a 25-year-old man. So you're still a young buck, man, but you have done such incredible work, you know, for ministry and for the Lord and just for people, man. And I love, Josh, that you just love everybody. And if we could have a world that just embraces people and lifts people up and encourages them along every step of the way, you know, I think when I look at you, I think of a young man who's making such a huge positive difference. And me at 41, I look up to you at 19, man. Age has nothing to do with it. I'm thankful for your friendship, and I'm thankful for the way that you've just interacted with people. And you know, we see it on Sunday, and it's, you know, it's all for the glory of the Lord, man. But on Sundays, we see 2 or 3 rows filled up of college students, and you've interacted with all of them at some point, and you've empowered people and released people. And that's what we teach in ministries, to empower and release. Find somebody that can do what you do at least 80%, because no one's ever going to do anything 100% the way you do it. But if you can find somebody, and I was thinking about that because I was like, how do you measure that? I don't. Maybe you give them a test. Maybe we'll ask Jack later. Jack probably has a few tricks up his sleeve about. He's shaking his head no, but he'll have something eventually. It'll pop into his head. But somehow you identify and you get to know. I mean, obviously you get to know after a while. Okay, this person's doing really well. Like when I had Michelle helping us here with Hello Huntsville, she was really good at taking the things that I needed done and rolling with it. I had a really productive meeting yesterday, just out of the blue, with a young lady that is with not with the University of Advancement, but with kind of an outreach program with the university. She's been there for many years. She graduated from SAM, and so we're already starting the initial stages of collaboration with some students to get them more involved and to actually give them projects that they can help from start to finish. It's really cool. It's a ACE program that they have over at the university, Center for Community Engagement and those things, which is really cool. And all of these resources, I want to remind people, I think we take it for granted. How cool is it to be here in East Texas in Huntsville, you know, in between Houston and Dallas? Here is what is becoming a major university, and we have all of these resources, and you're right in the middle of it, man. I mean, for you as a young person, what's that like, being at SAM and seeing all the resources that this university has for people?
Well, before I answer this question, I am really curious about the ACE project, because I have an ACE project in my education class, and so I have to go to the high school. And yesterday I actually talked to my professor about it, and she told me I can go help my mom at high school or Bear, and so that's what I'm gonna do. But I wanted to ask you, what's the ACE project with like the radio and stuff like that?
I have no idea. That was the fun part. I have no idea what the project's going to be.
Okay.
But we were just talking, and I didn't realize that these programs existed. And so they are programs to where students can get involved, and and even the university through some of these, they can get grants to actually pay students to go and do some of these things. So it's a really mutual benefit. And I'm going to have Sarah Burchett come on and talk more. She's with a group of people over that division. I invited her. I said, you know what? I started thinking about this. Y'all are about the only group that we haven't had on this show. And especially for nonprofits, we have a young lady that has a nonprofit here in town. Maybe she has an idea of something that she'd like to do, but she doesn't know how to get it off the ground, or she needs support doing it. That's what these programs at the university are for. And when you see the new Huntsville logo, it's been out for a couple of years now, but there's a Huntsville logo and it says like Pure Texas under it. Actually, students from Sam Houston State developed that logo through one of these type of programs. They were tasked with coming up with new marketing and branding. They did it, and it's really cool. So there is so much opportunity in our community for people to get involved and for students to get involved that I don't even think Huntsville's aware of.
Yeah. I wasn't aware of a lot of stuff like volunteering at the high school, and so that's a great thing. And I feel like you asked me like, what does it feel like in general, like to be here in Huntsville and like be able to have all these opportunities. I think like we are so privileged, 'cause like Huntsville and like many other towns in the U.S. That are Huntsville size and bigger, like we are so privileged to have like so many opportunities here in the town, so we can give to others, give back to the community, and help others. Especially if you're a Christian, like that's a great way to meet new people and go share your faith. And if you're not a Christian, it's a great way to be nice to people and help others. And so it's really good. I really like that.
Yeah, it's such an embracing community. That's why we started this platform 3 years ago. We're close to episode 700.
Yes.
I need to think. We always do like a celebration. We need to have Jack back on 700. Bring back old friends. We're going to call it the Old Friends Reunion. Now, not old as in age, but just, like you're an old friend. I've known you for a few years. You're an old friend. We're going to have the Old Friend Reunion and a little kumbaya, and we'll have the balloon drops and all that. We'll invite Jack back on. So, well, hey, we're going to take a break. We want to hear from you this morning. Let us know that you're out there. You can reach out to us very easily by text message. Don't text and drive, but let us know that you're out there listening. The number's 936-339-0139. You can text us and just let us know that you're out there. If you're on the social media feeds, you can chime in and let us know what you're thankful for today as we lift up and encourage. And I want to end this first segment with this, and then we'll go back over to social media here in just a few moments with the rest of the show. But, I'm so thankful that we have an opportunity, and I talk about this, it feels like every morning, and I'm going to continue to talk about it, Josh. I'm so thankful that we have an opportunity and a privilege to reach into 5 of our 7 prison systems here, TDCJ correctional facilities. We know that folks that are literally behind a wall are listening to us this morning, and we always want to give hope. There's a story of a man who shared his testimony on A Call to Kneel, the show that we do on Thursday nights, and he talked about just how he found the Lord behind a prison wall. That's where he met the Lord, and hearing the bells of this church reminded him of that, and he's been over here now for 17 years. And so I want people out there to know this morning that there is hope, despite whatever you're going through, despite whatever circumstance. That there's an opportunity this morning that you can receive that hope. And I want to encourage you, pick up the Bible and read it. And get connected with groups wherever you are. Maybe you're incarcerated. Maybe you're in another area. Maybe you're not in prison. But get involved with somebody that is going to encourage you and lift you up. And we have many groups and many opportunities right here in Huntsville. I mean, you as a young person, you're involved in a ton of them.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Well, we're going to take a break. For those of you listening on Spirit 94.3, we're going to head back to regular music and programming. But the show does continue on social media. Many of you are already on. Do us a favor this morning. If you haven't in a long time, like and share this broadcast if you are on the social media channels. You have no idea how much of a difference that means. One share could bring on 200 or 300 more views. And sometimes we'll see our show with almost 2,000 views now within 24 hours. And that's because of all of your generous support. So thank you for continuing to help us promote and uplift this community. We do have some great guests coming up, so make sure you stay locked in. We will step aside and take a break as we continue promoting, celebrating the good with Josh's, what'd you say, Karate Kid music?
Yep.
All right, we'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. It's Good Morning Huntsville, back in the old studio. We'll be back in a moment.
Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Are you ready for a better way to bank? Join Walker County Federal Credit Union today. As a member, you'll enjoy low-cost loans, no annual fees, and easy online access. We're not just a credit union. We're a community dedicated to your financial success. Experience friendly service tailored for just you. Why wait? Join us online at walkercountyfcu.com or drop by our location at 1802 Normal Park Drive, Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Faith has a new frequency. The Spirit of Huntsville. KHSPLP, Huntsville, Texas. Spirit 94.3.
Hi, I'm Kanan. No, Cindy, to Barrett Radar.
Welcome back at it, friends, as we continue on this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. Check it out. Look, there they are. Welcome in. I've got to start with Tiffany. Welcome in, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Good to have you, Tiffany Michelle, and the Jack Durish. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
I'll tell you, one of the best handshakes you can get in town is from Jack Durish.
There
because
you go.
When you shake that hand, you're shaking pure, genuine hand right there.
Not quite like Tara's husband. That man has got a hand.
Yeah, Roger does.
Roger's something else.
Well, it is good to have guests on. I always enjoy when we have an opportunity to have new guests on. Tiffany Michelle is joining us this morning, and just an incredible nonprofit ministry. Well, it is a ministry. You think about it. Anytime we serve anybody, in a way, it's a ministry. But she has an incredible organization giving back to veterans that we're going to talk about. Heart and Hammer, Texas, is who you're here chatting about today, Tiffany. But before we dig into all of that, we just want to catch up and say hello. And Tiffany, I'll start with you. Jack is the one that invited you. How did you guys meet? You know, do y'all remember? How did the connection happen?
So we were on a veteran project here in Huntsville, and I reached out to someone that we had just done a project for to see if she knew any veteran organizations that would help with funding. And she gave me Jack's number, and I called him up, and he talked for about an hour and a half, and I listened.
That's good. If it was only an hour and a half, you got lucky.
Yep. But that's how we connected. And
my mother said I was vaccinated with a phonograph needle. You all just got to live with it.
But yeah,
and somebody explain that for Josh later, would you?
We'll learn. But you know one thing, and Jack, I'm joking, but I learned so much from stories from people just like Jack, and I'm so privileged, and I know you are too. We both feel incredibly privileged to know you, Jack, because you have a wealth of knowledge, and it is truly a gift whenever you can talk and tell stories and keep people engaged, and you always do that. And I always love when you come on, and I set aside a little bit of extra time because I always appreciate the stories that you share with us. So, and also we charge after an hour anyway, so we're really happy to know. I'm just kidding. But Jack, how have you been, my friend? It's good to see you. I know since the last time you were post commander, but that time has came and gone, and I know you're still active in the community. But how have you been?
I've been well. I'm married to the most beautiful woman in the world. I'm living here it was nice to come back to America. Came here. It was at the end of February, 5 years ago, we arrived here. And I'll never forget my wife. She said to me after a couple of months, she says, I've never been yes ma'am so much in my life. I was born and raised in the South. She was born and raised in Southern California. And the one thing, going to California, I found her. That was my greatest prize. But it's really going well. We're really happy here. And we're happy together here. One of my favorite lines, and God, I wish I'd written this. Mark Twain wrote the letters from Earth and various religious-oriented things. And he wrote the Diary of Adam. And at the end of it, Adam is writing, he says, Eve is gone. She has died. And he said, wherever she was, there was Eden. And that's how I felt with my wife. Wow. Just, as long as she's here, I'm in Eden. So, but truthfully, coming from California, it was like coming back to America. And of course, the young people, why Huntsville? Why Huntsville? They dream. They want to go to the big city. They want to go to the glitz and the glamour. And I say, you have an urge to go to California. You just take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning, and I'll talk you down. Trust me.
See, the one thing, Tiffany, that I was going to let you know real quick is Jack always has a really good way of husbands such as myself, he reminds me that I need to step it up. So thank you for that, Jack. I'm glad my wife is working this morning, not listening, because she's going to remember what that man talked about, and then it's going to affect me negatively. So thank you, Jack.
Do you know what's coming up?
What is that?
April 24th is the 50th anniversary of the day we met.
Wow.
I celebrate that day even more than our wedding anniversary, which is June 26th the year after. So next year, on June 26th, will be our 50th wedding anniversary. And we still walk hand in hand. And people, are you two on a date?
So, yes, we are.
And it's sad.
Yep.
You know, we started out on a date walking hand in hand. And, I can't say because I know she's listening. I got a surprise for her, and I know she's listening. I'll tell you when we're off the air.
All right. Well, see, this is what happens to Jack. Comes on, he brings a lot of great stories. Then he starts talking about how awesome of a husband he is and how much he loves his wife. And then I'm like, Bridget, I love you. You are the best thing on earth, sweetheart. I love you so much. And thank you, Jack, for reminding me how much I love my wife.
There you go.
I love that.
Well, Tiffany is here this morning, and I'm so thankful, Jack, again, that you brought Tiffany on. Jack invests in so many people, and he invests in a lot of our young people, and he invests in organizations that want to give back to the community. Mention your nonprofit name again. I know Heart and Hammer of Texas, but talk a little bit about that, and maybe just let us know just a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about your journey. How'd you get here to Huntsville, those kind of things, and then we'll talk about the nonprofit.
Okay. So I actually was born and raised in Willis. But my church that I've been at for about 27 years, it was in Huntsville originally, and then they opened a new location in Willis, so now I go to that one.
So you started church when you were negative age then?
Yeah.
27 years. Okay, that's what I thought. All right.
So I kind of grew up in the Huntsville area while living in Willis just because we were at church 3 or 4 times a week. So I know the Huntsville area really well, and we've had quite a few projects out here. We built a ramp for a little boy who just had double hip surgery back in December. We had the ramp ready for him when he got out of the hospital. And then we went back and fixed the floor at his house because he's actually never walked by himself in his life.
Oh, my goodness.
And this year, because of that surgery, they're hopeful by the end of the year he'll learn to walk. So we had to fix the floor in his house so that it would be safe for him to be learning.
Yeah. Well, what kind of led you into what you were doing? I know you were talking earlier that you're a patriot. You just love this country. You love being able to help. Some of your family members had served. Maybe tell us a little bit about that and kind of how all that molded into starting this nonprofit.
Yeah, so really, I was really sick for a long time, about 7 years now, and I was at the point where I didn't think I would see my next birthday, and so I did what a lot of people do when they're dying. They live like they're dying. So I traveled a lot, and I road tripped all 50 states. And during that time, you go through a lot of big cities, but you go through a lot of small towns, more small towns than the big cities. And you see these homes that are falling apart, and you meet these people who are barely getting by, like just making ends meet, versus when a disaster happens, a freeze happens, pipe busts, things like that, they can't afford to fix it. It leads to mold, all kinds of stuff like that. And it broke my heart, and I told myself that if I survived, then I would help people. And so that's when I spent 2 years on bed rest, got off a little bit over a year ago, and I started the nonprofit.
Wow.
And so I actually run it completely free. So I have a small remodeling business that pays my bills so that I can run the nonprofit. Because I thought if I took a salary, we wouldn't be able to help as many people as we do. And so I don't. And just to give you a glimpse into this, we are 1 year old, a little over 1 year, and we got about $17,000 in donations, but we did over $220,000 worth of work.
Wow.
And that's because of Home Depot donating. Home Depot actually been amazing to watch all of this unfold because I'm just a person. I'm not anyone fancy, but I want to help people. And it's just God has opened every single door for this to happen, for us to do what we do. And it's been amazing. I cry all the time. I cry happy tears all the time because every door just keeps opening and people just keep coming in and supporting the vision and being part of it. And it's like a dream come true for me. And just the families that we help, they're so deserving. The veterans that we help are so deserving. Like, they have given so much to our country, and we all need a little help sometimes.
We're looking at your website right now. I want to encourage people to go to it. By the way, it's heartandhammertx.org. And there you are, Miss Tiffany, right there talking and just celebrating the joy of being able to help these folks. And it looks like, I mean, y'all are, it's so neat. How did you get into the remodeling business? Tell us that story first. I want to hear about that.
So I've been doing remodeling and construction for a little over 12 years. When I got my first house, it ended up being a flip. It wasn't on purpose, but that's how it went. And then from there, I just started flipping houses. Then I went into building homes. I worked for construction companies as a home builder. And then I got put on bed rest. But up to then, I was doing a lot of construction. I know how to do almost everything. I am not a licensed plumber or electrician, but I can do quite a bit in those areas. And then outside of that, I can do
But in
anything.
the county. No, I'm just kidding.
So I have more tools than most guys I know.
Wow. What inspired you? I know you said you had the house, but was there like a family member or somebody that you were around growing up that worked kind of on stuff?
My dad, he's kind of a do-it-all guy. There is nothing that my dad does not know how to do. And if he doesn't know how to do it, he figures it out. Like, if you put an instrument in front of him, he can play it. He plays countless instruments. He knows how to fix everything. He has a big old shop that's full of every tool you can imagine. And I always loved working with my dad, and I've always been kind of a hands-on person. Mm-hmm. So I like doing things myself and learning. And I figure if I can't figure it out, then I'll hire someone like I would have originally. But I'm going to try first.
Yeah.
YouTube it a lot, cuss a little, but
Well, it doesn't.
and pray a lot too.
It doesn't feel good when a hammer hits your thumb. So
No.
yeah. Well, Tiffany, I think it's so great what you're doing. This is a calling, you know.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, we all, as believers, we all are called to certain things, and this is a ministry. Yeah. Sometimes we get wrapped up thinking you got to be in a church building and we have to do these things, and we've got to constantly do this to be in ministry. That's not true. We are the hands and feet of Christ, and you are out doing the work, and you're blessing these veterans, and you're planting seeds along the way. And I think it's incredible what you were doing. I wanted to bring Jack back into the conversation. Jack, as a veteran, it's so incredible to have young people that are involved that want to help out veterans. Maybe just how does that speak to you? You know, seeing someone like Tiffany who's out making this difference for veterans. What is that? How does that resonate with you?
You know, you're going to have me crying in a minute because I was working with a high school in California when they shut down the old El Toro Marine Corps Air Station. They deeded that over to the city of Irvine, and they were parceling it out for all kinds of things. And they built a high school there. And they spent more in that high school than they probably put into Sam Houston University. They had, you would have loved their audiovisual department. They had a cyclorama with the tracks on the ceilings for you hang the light, and nothing was on floor stands. Everything was ceiling mounted. The boom mics, the lighting, the cameras, everything. And the cyclorama gives you, for people who don't know what that is, it's a room without corners. So you got rounded corners, you got rounded edges down here so that you can create anything. Okay. Yeah. And it just was a magnificent school. And they wanted to do a production because we would go to their school and they would say, we want to talk to World War II veterans. And I still had some at the time. So I put a group together, and they get on the stage, and they do a presentation. And I got to know a lot of the kids, and it was really great. And they said, one year they wanted to do a video production about us. And the last question, they had me in a room, and they say, why do you care so much that we are involved with this. And when you're throwing a question like that, you got to hesitate. You got to think about it. And I said, I can't speak for all veterans, but when we went in harm's way, with the VFW, we're the Veterans of Foreign Wars. That's by congressional charter. One of our requirements is we had to have served in a combat zone. We may not have been trigger pullers, but we were there.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in harm's way to defend this nation, and to see young people picking up that torch makes it feel worthwhile. And that's why when I see someone like Tiffany or Josh, I listen to them. And young people like you, I love saying that. I was telling her back there that you add all your ages together to match me. Sunday was my 83rd birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Jack.
Thank you. And it's exactly that if we solve this, and there's some places that sometimes we lose heart. We see signs that maybe that torch is guttering, it's being dropped. And it is in many of the big cities. And you sit there and you think, my God, we went in harm's way for that? No, that's why I love being here. That I am in the midst of young people who are picking up that torch and carrying it on. And then I feel that the risks that I took, the time I spent, that great pause in my life, while I was serving, I fell off the earth. And my peers, my contemporaries, they were out getting married, starting families, advancing careers. And I come back 5.5 years later, and it's like I'm starting out from back there. Mm-hmm. And people look at me, you're that old and you still don't have a career, you don't have a big credential. Well, that's the way it is. So it took me till I was in my 50s before I caught up. I wasn't making spit before then. And after that, I made a lot more than spit, let me tell you. But it is. I love seeing the youth. I love working with the youth here. That's why I do the work with the school programs that the VFW runs. I'm the chairman of that now. I had enough of the commander. I had enough people salute me.
See, I thought he was done, Tiffany, and here he is again, getting involved in something else.
So just
Yeah.
No.
No, we got another thing I do want to talk to you about later, but we'll do that later.
Yeah. Well, Jack, I appreciate you, and and Tiffany, as you sit here and listen to Jack, I'm just so grateful. I was thinking, Jack, as you were talking, your talking made me miss my dad, and I appreciate that because I lost my dad in 2024. He's a Vietnam vet, and I think about all the people that helped him out in his life and the things that he dealt with, and then I think of people like Tiffany who have identified this need, going out and from the kindness of your heart saying, I want to bless these guys. They need help. They made the ultimate sacrifice serving our country. The least that we can do is provide some help somewhere. And that's what this community is all about. And you're continuing to tell that story and help these veterans. That's what I love Huntsville. It's a veteran-oriented community. What are some of the things, Tiffany, and I want people to get involved. Obviously, we're hoping this morning that you're hearing stories from Jack and you're hearing stories from Tiffany. They're going to tug at your heart and say, you know what, I want to support this mission because stuff doesn't come free. But you've got great partners, too. Home Depot, I know, donated over $2,000 worth of supplies lately. When you go into these homes and help these veterans, what are some of the stories or some of the things that you hear? Maybe some of the things that are difficult for them and that you're able to go in and help with?
I mean, honestly, a lot of the veterans that I come across are like Jack, where they come back after serving and they're having to start from nothing. So most of them are low income, and it breaks my heart because they are the reason that we can live and do what we do in this country, and they're some of the lowest income families, and it's just heartbreaking. The veteran that we're working with now, he's disabled. He actually was having a stroke there at the project site yesterday, and I was holding him up, and him and his wife, they had mold damage. They had a roof leak they couldn't afford to fix for over a year, fought with the insurance company, and then they have been displaced from their home for almost 2 years.
Goodness.
And actually, I met them because the wife's dad, who is also a disabled vet, was the very first project I did last December. And at that point, I didn't have any volunteers, no funding, nothing. And I was just by myself, and he had a leak bust after a freeze, and I fixed it. He was a couple days out of the hospital after his third stroke, wheelchair bound, barely any movement from the neck down. And like most veterans, he's the type of guy who fix it himself, like he can do anything kind of guy. Most vets are. But at that point, he couldn't help himself. He was my first project, and I didn't even know their situation. And the wife reached out to me actually about a month ago and didn't even realize that I was the same person, because at that point I wasn't established. I didn't have anything filed with the state. I was not a nonprofit. It was just me.
I
just wanted to help
doing
people.
what needed to be done.
And so she reached out through the website, because there's actually a form on the website that people can fill out to volunteer or be someone that we help, or donate. So everything's there, and she reached out, filled out the form, told me the story, and I was like, I know your name. We're friends on Facebook now. Like, I know you. And she told me what had happened. And that's another thing I come across. A lot of veterans, it's really hard. It's really hard for people in general to ask for help. Yeah. But most veterans I meet, they're so strong and they're so do-it-yourself. It's hard to ask for help. And that's one thing that I push whenever I meet people. And I'm like, it's okay to need help. I myself, when I was sick, I had just had surgery. I had 4 incisions in my stomach, had to lay my own tile floor because the contractor up and left with the money and never showed up. So I understand needing help. I understand needing people. And that's one thing that I always push on the families. I'm like, it's okay. We can help you. That's what we're here to do. But I mean, it's been beautiful. One thing that we definitely need, we need volunteers. We need volunteers. Of course, we need donations for material, but volunteers is one of the biggest things that we struggle with. There's a house called VPU here in Huntsville. I'm not sure if you're aware. It's Veterans Patriots United.
Amos. Yeah, I've had Amos on. Yeah, I've had Amos on the program.
So they bring their guys all the time. They were here for 3 days this week, and honestly, we had some of our best volunteer days this week. It was beautiful, and we've gutted that whole home, all the mold. We've pulled it out. We have a mold remediation company who has come in, and they've volunteered their machines for us to use and directed us on how to do it, because mold remediation it's not something to mess with. So they're telling us how to do everything and making sure we're getting it done right. And next week we'll be hanging sheetrock, all the sheetrock that we removed, and then kilsing everything and painting. So we'll be putting the house back together. I'm hoping to get them back in their home after almost 2 years.
Goodness.
I'm hoping to get them back in their home in the next 2 weeks.
Jack, I'm sitting here as Tiffany talks, I'm sitting here thinking my wife and I need to sell our place, go buy some land, and hire her just to come build a house.
I can build a house.
Yeah, so we're going to get you to come build a house for us.
You know, our post quartermaster Warren, who was on with me last time.
We've had Warren, yeah.
Yeah, he and his wife are selling their home. They live down, I think, actually below Willis, and they have a piece of land up on the 30, and they want to build a house there. I got to put in touch with you.
Well, I think it's great, you know, when we identify needs and something that's really been, and I feel like it's an impression of the Holy Spirit in my life, especially over these last 2 or 3 weeks. Josh and I were talking about it probably last week about the mission. Like, what's the mission of our life? What are we doing? Are we just doing things to do things, or are we doing things that advance the kingdom of the Lord? And I think when we're serving others, that is one of the most prominent ways that we can share our faith, is just through service. As we said earlier, you know, we are the hand. Christ has called us to be the hands and feet. He calls us to go feed the hungry, to visit those that are in prison, and to be there for people. And your organization is doing that. You're meeting a need of a group that some of us, most of us, unintentionally take for granted. A group of people who have fought so hard. And as much as we talk about veterans, we think, hurrah, America, USA, USA. Well, there are people that are struggling that can't even fix their home. You are meeting that need. What is it? Maybe somebody this morning is thinking, hey, I know of somebody that needs help, and they have looked and they can't find them. We have a great VSO here too. We've had our good friend Mr. Kane on here many times. Bob does an incredible job for our veterans, and he tries to help as much as possible. But there are still more that have needs, and that's where you're feeling that. What if somebody today is watching Tiffany and they're saying, I know of somebody that needs help, and we haven't been able to find that help? What does that process look like? And I'm talking about for home help. What does that process look like from kind of start to finish going through your organization?
Yeah, so they would go on our website, and you can fill out the form for someone if they don't want to fill it out themselves. But there's a form on our website, heartandhammertexas.org, and the Texas is just TX. But there's a form. They would just fill it out, and they'll get a phone call from me pretty immediately. It goes directly to, I get a notification on my phone, I give them a call, and then I go out and assess the situation. We talk through what the need is, how they got where they are, and make sure that they fall under our 3 pillars, which is veteran, senior, or low income. And the low income is based on the county. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple actually. Just the form, and then phone call from me. I go look at it, and then we schedule out a day. I usually try to schedule out our projects a month in advance because all of our corporations like Home Depot, H-E-B, and Capital One, they have to have a month to get everyone scheduled. So it takes a little longer. But some projects, if it's something small or an emergency, I can usually get someone out there within a few days. We have a plumber, Randall Plumbing. He comes and does all of our projects for free, which has just been amazing, and he's licensed and insured. And so I use him on all my paid projects because of that. And then we have an electrician, same thing. So if it's an emergency, we can usually get them out there pretty immediately. The biggest issue, if it's an emergency, is getting the funding for it, because we like to do fundraisers. We do social media to raise funding per project. But if people want to donate just in general, they can do that on our website. And there's also a way for people to sign up for monthly donations.
Awesome. When you think of volunteers, you mentioned earlier, of course, you need the donations, but you said the biggest need, we just need people to volunteer too. Yeah. What does that volunteer look like? What kind of skills do they need if somebody wants to come and help and be a part?
They don't need any skills. I can teach them how to do anything, really. And I usually schedule my volunteers based on their abilities. So if they're really handy and they have their own tools, we'll get them in there on those days. But then there's some who they can paint, they can do a roller. We did one project where the 3 little girls, their floors were falling through. They were in a mobile home, so that's a 3-foot drop.
Oh yeah.
And I had them in there. We have video. They're in there with a roller painting the walls after we fixed the sheetrock because it was due to a leak they couldn't afford to fix. We had to do mold remediation there, fix all the subfloor, all of that. But yeah, I had them in there with a roller. They're painting with us because we hadn't put the new floors in. So it's okay if you get a little paint on the floor. But yeah, I can really, you don't need any skill set. I can teach you. And if not, we can have you just pulling trash out. We had a Winton Way junk haulers. They come out and do our projects. We had 2 trailerfuls of stuff from this veteran that we're helping because we had to gut the whole home, which was heartbreaking because they're losing all their memorabilia. He's losing his military stuff. And it was so hard to sit there with him and his wife and go through the home and take out that stuff. But I mean, we can have people just bringing trash out. That's easy.
Yeah.
So
just come and be involved.
Yeah, just come, just show up. If you can only come for an hour, I'll take an hour. If you can come for 5 minutes, I'll take 5 minutes. If you can come all day, I'll take all day.
Yeah, come on. It's funny how you were talking about, just the Winton Way. It's funny how this world, Jack, is so small. I want to encourage people today, and here's what I'm going to say about this, but real quick, I want to encourage you today, say more than just hello to somebody. Because if you just say, hey, how you doing today? Then the conversation's over. I'm good. That's it. But if you start to have a conversation, and I know sometimes we don't have all day to have a conversation, but if you ask a little bit more, all of a sudden the world starts opening up. And if I would have never had you on the show, you would have never talked about what you're doing. And now I have a resource that when somebody calls me, I can say they can go and talk to Tiffany. She may have an opportunity. And then you mentioned Witten Way. Kelsey used to be our dog groomer. So see,
okay.
there's the small
So
world.
you know the Wittens.
There's the connection right there.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is talk, and you can meet. You can open up the door to connections.
I have met more people this year than probably all put together in my whole life. I know so many people. I got a guy for everything. I got a pickle guy. I ran into him at Home Depot the other day. Actually, yesterday I was on the phone with a client.
Do you have a tamale lady?
I do not
All right.
actually.
Well, I'll hook you up, Delphina at Rodeo.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I was on the phone with one of my actual job clients, and my pickle guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she laughed because I had told her I have a guy for everything. If you need something, you just call me. I'll make a connection for you.
Jack, everybody needs a pickle guy.
I could use one.
Man, he makes these pickled bell peppers. They're probably the best thing I've ever tasted.
All right, there you go. So Kelsey, their family, I think that's great. You know, that's such a good family, and there they are helping and giving back. You know, Jack, it is such an incredible organization, and I know that you've came across those that you've served with that have needed help, and these organizations provide such a great resource.
And it is heartbreaking what she's describing going in, and you asked about. I met one. I have to filter this so quickly because some of it is pretty appalling. He had lost all control over his bowels, and there was a trail of feces from his bathroom to his bedroom, and I said, we can take care of this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get somebody licensed to do this because as soon as you hit water on that, even though it's dried, it's
very dangerous.
It's going to atomize. It's got to be done properly. And I said, I can't afford that. And I said, don't you worry about it. This has got to be taken care of. He would not allow us. I begged him. I called back to him many times, and I begged him to allow us to take care of it, and he wouldn't. He was too proud. And I don't know if anything ever happened with it. I don't know if he's still alive. But it is, and dealing with veterans who are used to standing up, and I tell them, look, we took care of each other. We survived the battlefield by taking care of each other. We need to take care of each other to survive the peace. And in that case, he could not allow himself to accept that help.
That's why I always encourage people, don't ever take anything for granted, anything, because many of us are just that one little moment away from something catastrophic happening in our own lives.
Yeah.
That one bill that you can't pay, that one illness, that one accident away from your whole world turning upside down. Yep. Now, as a minister, I have to say that's why we should always have our faith in Christ, because Christ will carry us through. And if not here on this earth, we're going to be carried through in heaven. And that's the hope and the joy that I hold on to. But we have a duty and a commitment to take care of our fellow man here on this earth. My dad taught me that. I never knew, Jack, why when we were children, my dad would cook for an army. He loved cooking. And he would whip up everything. Now, he'd grumble a little bit and complain about it, but he did it. And he loved doing it. Well, I don't know why I'm taking blah, 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 all this food, but he needs it, so here, let's go fix this. And he would do it. He would do it because that was his heart. And now I see, as I've gotten older, at 41 now, I look back and I say, that's why Dad did that, because he had a heart for people, because he served our country and he wants to serve others and continue serving. And he'd make us go deliver all this food to all these people around town that he'd cook for, because he said, Dad, how are we going to eat all this? We ain't going to eat it all. We're going to give half of it away. And that's what we did. So now the other thing that I do have to mention is my dad would also fix our plates, but his motto was take all you want, but eat all you get. I said, Dad, how can we eat all we get when you're the one that put it on our plate? It's too much. He goes, I don't know, figure it out, but eat it. So, but I think it's great, Tiffany, what you're doing. Maybe just any final comments, about the nonprofit and just about this community and the work that you guys have been able to do and will continue to do.
Your fundraiser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mention that.
See that? I'm here. I'm here to kibitz.
This is why you're here. So we are doing a fundraiser. It will be on March 7th from 10 to 3 at the Willis hardware store. It's called D&M Hardware. It's in downtown Willis. So the owner of that is actually cooking all the pulled pork. We're going to have pulled pork sandwiches. We're selling plates for $12 a plate. It comes with the sandwich, chips, and a drink. I will be baking for 2 days straight leading up to that because we're also going to be selling baked goods.
Man, she's fixing houses, baking, probably working on cars. I mean, everything you can imagine.
Actually, yeah, my truck broke down on Sunday, so I've been catching rides to the project all week, and my truck is in parts right now, and I'm going to the salvage yard when I leave here to try to find the fuel lines that I need. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing
Oh, my God, where have you been hiding?
In Willis.
I could name some men around. A woman who will go to the junkyard looking for fuel lines.
Well, they don't sell it. They don't sell it. So I have to go find an old model of my truck.
And go get it. Yeah, there you go.
But
I spent many happy hours in a junkyard. I can tell you.
Jack Durish, the junkyard dog. No.
The junkyard dogs, I got stories there too.
I know. That's why I love having the conversation with you.
I got a story for everything.
But so we'll be having the fundraiser. And it's March 7th from 10 to 3 at the hardware store. We would like people to pre-order a plate. And the way to do that is you would text 936-577-2002.
Let me jot that down. So pre-order at, what was it,
936-577-2002. That also is the number to reach me if you need anything, if you know someone who needs help, if you want to come volunteer, if you can't figure out how to donate but you really want to, then that's my direct line. It goes right to me. I answer all the time. I had about 65 phone calls just yesterday. That's my everyday now.
So that's your phone number?
That is my phone number, yes, sir.
Guys, if you want to date,
I have a boyfriend. I'm very happy.
Well, he obviously is not doing the job yet.
He's doing the job.
Oh, see, this is why we love having Jack on. Jack just
he's gonna get me in trouble.
Jack just tells it how it is, So that's why he reminds me of my father.
I think that's coming soon.
For those that couldn't see, Jack's over here holding up a certain ring on his hand and waving it around off camera.
Well, Edwin, if you're out there, Jack says get on it.
All right, perfect. Well, this is good. I'm so appreciative, Tiffany, and so great to meet you, and just an incredible organization that we definitely want to keep promoting and helping out. So we're going to take this interview. We'll make an article. We'll put it up on the website and continue to promote and celebrate the good. Jack, real quick, Jack has brought a book, and I want you to come back. We don't have time today to go over a lot about this, but can you briefly mention the book? Jack is an author, and I wanted to give him a chance. He always brings me books, and this is one that he has written, The Accidental Spy.
It's actually one of 3 books, and my books are not, they're historical fiction, okay? There are real people mentioned, their names are used, but I put in a disclaimer, they're used I look at history through a creative lens. I take license so that I compress timelines. I put in fictional characters so that I can observe the story, let the reader observe it. And all my stories in this series of 3 stories, the hero is Nick Andrews. And he's a soldier, but he becomes a ghost. And I knew some men like this in the military who actually would go into, during the Cold War, when we say enemy territory, behind the Iron Curtain of the Soviet Union. It was easy getting behind the Iron Curtain. The Iron Curtain was not there to keep people out. It was out there to keep people from escaping utopia. Okay? And so getting out would be the hard part. But while they were there, they were not James Bond. They're not at the gambling table, at the casino, drinking martinis. Their whole point was never to be seen. No one, not a single civilian, knew they were there. They were there to make their observations and get out with the information. And I knew one fellow. He was a Marine. He was really into it. I had to be very careful. I was an officer, and even with them, Marines teach the fear of God of officers. Thank God, because if I said anything the wrong way, you were going to die there.
Yeah.
But my stories are not the shoot 'em up, the battle scene. I focus more on the human toll of these conflicts. And what we're in now, in this is the age of terrorism, of non-state bad actors, the cartels and the Islamists and so on, that there's a human toll to these conflicts. And for example, in the Korean War, my character is stuck behind enemy lines. He's trying to survive among civilians. More civilians were killed. The percentage of the Korean population was higher than the civilian population that was killed during World War II, even with all the carpet bombing and everything else.
Wow.
So I focus more on the human toll of war than the shoot 'em up. As a matter of fact, my character gets into a battle and he's wounded, and next thing he wakes up in the hospital. He's, what happened? And there's somebody there telling him, you were a hero. I was. I don't remember it. So that my stories, the one is for Korea, one is for the Hungarian Revolution, and one for the Cuban Revolution, and I'm working on the Vietnam War. Again, my point of view will be in the story early, before the United States is involved. As a matter of fact, he's in North Vietnam meeting with Ho Chi Minh when Johnson bombs the harbor and mines it, and the war starts, and he has to escape from North Vietnam. And so I'm not, again, this is not a shoot 'em up war story. It's that human toll of war.
Yeah.
And it's a total, and I'm really trying to relate that what we were going through in the Cold War was the same thing we're going through now. There's this human toll to our Cold Wars, if you will, and the proxy wars. We're in proxy wars in the Middle East and Hungary. Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine is our proxy fighting Russia. And I got to tell you, we spent a lot of years afraid of Russia. And if I'd known then what I know now, I could send in a battalion Marines and wipe out all of Russia. They just don't know how to fight a war, and they never did. But we just keep going through this again and again and again. And one of my main themes is it's our own fault.
Yeah.
If Truman, Secretary of State, he was meeting at a press club in San Francisco, and he was explaining Truman's doctrine of no expansion. They've got this. We're not going to let them go further, and he decides he has to explain in detail, and he forgets to mention Korea, and boom, the Korean War started. Hey, the Americans aren't going to fight for it. We're going in. Did you know that when Saddam Hussein wanted to invade Kuwait, he called the American ambassador and says, this is a situation. I have defended Kuwait, and now they're trying to bankrupt us as a nation, and we got no choice. We've got to invade that. Does America have an opinion on this? She said, wait a minute, I don't know. So she goes back to the embassy, calls the State Department, and they say, oh, no, we have no opinion on that. And so he invaded Kuwait, and suddenly we had an opinion.
Yeah, wow.
So it's the same thing over and over and over again. The diplomats get us into these messes, and then we go shed blood to get us out.
Yeah.
And so that's my story.
Well, that's a lot of what Jack writes about, and you can find. Just look up Jack Durish on Amazon. I've seen all three of the books are there on Amazon, right?
they're on sale in paperback on Amazon. If you go to my website, it directs you to I'm at Amazon, of course, Barnes and Noble, Kobo, Lulu, and the other one's escaping me at the moment. They're all listed there, and some of them have it both in ebook and paperback. Some paperback only, some ebook only.
Gotcha.
So you go to my website and it'll say
what's the website? Jackdurish.
JackDurish.com.
And what were those two? You said Kobo and what? Which ones?
Kobo, Kobo, is a very big one. And like Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
And Lubu, you said?
Lulu.
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 So when he said Kobo and Lulu, I started thinking those probably were people who started those companies that had pets. That was
I was thinking pet names, yeah.
Kobo and Lulu. So
Probably.
I'm going to name my next dog Kobo. That's a good name for a male dog.
that
So
dog,
Kobo.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Jack, thank you, brother. Hey, we love you. We appreciate you. And thank you first and foremost for your service,
Always
my friend.
happy to. And thank you for having.
Well, thank you for
Tiffany.
inviting her. I would have never known who Tiffany was if you
Well,
hadn't invited her. So
I'm going to bring in some more of these small.
Please.
This town is amazing for this. You're not alone in this town.
I have learned that. I have met so many. I mean, Bob Kane that you mentioned earlier, he's helping me try to get a veteran. They don't have a working bathroom for their kids, and we're trying to get funding for that because it's going to be breaking foundation. And
wow.
I could tell you
whole big
something real quick
project.
interesting. Bob Kane is a member of our post. He's the veteran service officer. That is a paid Walker County position, but he's a member of our post. The service officer for Madison County is a member of our post, and the service officer for Montgomery County is the wife of a member of our post.
oh wow,
Our post is really involved in service. We don't have a bar. We don't have smoking. We don't have drinking. We are a service post. We raise money to help veterans. And so, yeah. That's,
yeah, I've met so many people this year, and a lot in Huntsville, and everyone knows everyone, and everyone's connecting me.
Yep.
And I can feel the community. Like I do not feel alone in this, and it's been amazing to just watch it all unfold.
Good.
Awesome. Well, again, we appreciate you, Tiffany. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thanks
You're
for
welcome
having me.
back anytime. It's Tiffany Michelle from Heart and Hammer TX. You can go to their website, heartandhammertx.org. Huntsville, let's show up and support this great organization, either through manpower or, of course, donations. Well, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. Joshua, Mahshi, and I will wrap it up. I've got some news that nobody cares about. When we come back, it happens to involve a certain basketball team that wears silver and black. We'll talk about that. Nobody cares about that except me, but I'm going to tell you about it anyways. We'll be back in a moment. It's Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope.
Are you ready for a better way to bank? Join Walker County Federal Credit Union today. As a member, you'll enjoy low-cost loans, no annual fees, and easy online access. We're not just a credit union. We're a community dedicated to your financial success. Experience friendly service tailored for just you. Why wait? Join us online at walkercountyfcu.com or drop by our location at 1802 Normal Park Drive, Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted, family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We are not a daycare. We are a child care center focused on the growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Education you can trust.
Throwing it down with surround sound here at your easy listening. Good morning, Huntsville. Styling and profiling. Stay a while. Don't ever go away. Stay away. Go away. No, stay. Call up your friend Kyle and stay for a while. Joshua Mahshi's back in the chair with that frizzy hair.
I'm just kidding, Josh. Welcome back in, Josh. I was about to throw it down like I did one day. Did I ever throw it down with you? Throw down?
Yes.
I did. I did it with your brother. When I say throw it down, we're talking about freestyling.
Oh, wait. I thought you were talking about dancing.
Oh, no, I can't do that. So
no, I have a video of you dancing.
It's horrible. Yeah. Great interview. Boy, what a I had no idea that Tiffany Michelle was in this area and the organization that she has. And I just love when Jack, and I say Jack, and I feel like I'm saying a bad word when I say his name because my dad always told me to say Mr. or Mrs. But Jack, the first time I ever said Mr. to her, she said, "Don't you ever say that again." He goes, "That was my father." And so it's very hard for me to speak to an elder without calling him Mr. or Mrs. But in Jack's case, he told me that I need to say Jack.
Yeah.
So there you go, man. Hey, real quick news that nobody cares. Jason normally has news you can use. We don't have that today, so I have news that nobody cares about. There's a certain team in the National Basketball Association, probably the best colors you can wear on a jersey. Let's be honest, silver and black. Just really nothing like it that stands out on a basketball court. And then every once in a while you get a little fiesta color in there. It's just a beautiful setup for really what stands as the best of the best when it comes to any sport, any team, anywhere in the world. That would be none other than the Alamo City, the River City, the beautiful city of San Antonio, Texas. The San Antonio Spurs, number 2 in the league. They are getting closer to the Oklahoma City Thunder to take that top spot in the entire league. Last night, defeating the Toronto Raptors after they trailed by 15 going into the fourth quarter. They came back and won with a vengeance. Did get dicey at the end. It was close, but I say they came back with a vengeance and won. When you're down by 15, you only have a quarter. That's pretty good. And they did, down the stretch, missed a few free throws that they could have probably got it a lot sooner. It did go down to the final seconds, but the Spurs were able to hold on. And they have now won their 10th game in a row. The first time that they have won 10 straight since the 2015-16 seasons. San Antonio Spurs, you heard it first. This is a show of firsts, and you heard it first that the San Antonio Spurs will be the 2026 NBA champions. Congratulations well in advance to the world-class, world-renowned, most respected, the best team ever out of any sport, the San Antonio Spurs. I couldn't have said it any better.
No, I don't think so. I think you nailed it. That was really good. I'm thinking about later later when they win, we can make an edit about you just saying this speech.
Yeah, there's really no one better than the San Antonio Spurs. There's a city down the road within an hour of here. The logo needs some reworking. It is it looks like somebody had vomited fire out of the logo. And I'm not being rude. I know that the fans are listening. But that logo, when they came out with it, one of the worst logos besides the Turpins, Maryland Turpins, their logo is just horrible. But the Rockets logo, I like the Rockets as a team, I do. The logo, I don't like it so much. It's a horrible logo, and they could have really called a really good marketing team to produce that logo. Instead, they had a couple of local schools help coloring contest. I'm sure the parents are happy. I would be happy if my daughter did that, but on a professional scale, and we kind of step it up a little bit, guys. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say. So
That is okay.
Just lost some friends there. That's all right.
Are they watching?
No, nobody's watching. We don't have any viewers are down to 0 now. So no,
okay.
I'm just kidding. Hey, I did want to mention something. Are you a connoisseur of barbecue? Do you like barbecue or not?
Depends on what kind of barbecue we're talking about. Lebanese barbecue or American
what
barbecue?
is Lebanese barbecue? I've never heard of such
You've
such
probably
things.
You've probably heard shish kebab.
Yeah, well, we say shish kebab here. Shish. Hey, man, what do y'all have? We're gonna have us a shish kebab.
Well, it's not shish kebab. Shish kebab is more like Turkish. We have shish tawul, shish lahme, which means...
That sounds so cool.
You asked me the other day.
Wait, say it again.
Tawul.
No, the other one.
Lahme. Shish lahme.
Why did she do that? She slapped you? Were you being bad? What happened? I'm just kidding.
Shish lahme.
That's literally what it sounds like you're saying. She slapped me. But it sounds like you had a bunch of bubble gum in your mouth when you said it. She slapped me. Sorry. One more time. One more time, Josh.
Shish lahme.
Okay. Sounds like you have braces. You're trying to say in English. She slapped me. She slapped me. Okay, continue.
I can't think about it the same now.
All right.
But it's like lamb. You can either have lamb or beef.
Okay.
Cut into squares, put on a stick, and grilled over charcoal.
Man, that sounds good. That sounds
so
really good.
And then shish tawul is marinated chicken. It's specifically Lebanese. And also cut into cubes, put on a stick, and grilled over charcoal.
What was that one called again?
Shish tawul.
When's she going to give it back?
I don't get it. Wait, you got to explain.
Say it again.
Shish tawul.
Well, what did she steal? It sounds like you said she stole. So we got she slapped me and she stole. I can say those. All All right, if you have whatever it is that you stole, bring it back to Josh.
Please.
Please bring it back to him. That is cool, though. You made, was it you or your brother? Y'all made some dessert and brought it up here one day for the staff. I don't remember what it was. It was like some
we didn't
pastry
make it.
or something?
Yeah, we brought it with us from Lebanon.
Y'all brought it back?
Yeah.
What is that process like going through customs with food? Do you have to go through customs, or is it just like all is well? I mean, how does
all
that
is
work?
well. If you're putting it in the big bag or like the big suitcase, not the carry-ons. If you because those they don't open them to check them. They just go through a security check.
Well, hey, I wanted to thank the community real quick. We're going to wrap up here in just a few seconds. That should slap me. The Senior Citizen Drive went so great yesterday. There are still a few boxes around town. We're going to still collect items today and tomorrow from those boxes. You can go to Walker County Federal Credit Union. Rodeo Mexican Restaurant, by the way, has one. There are a couple of boxes remaining around town. If you have any items that you'd like to bring to senior citizens, drop them off at those boxes, or you can drop them off here at First Baptist Church today until 3 p.m. And then we won't be here. I'll be here, but the church won't be open tomorrow. So please, if you do have any items and you missed our donation drive, we ended up filling up 6 tables, and I've got like 2 more tables worth of stuff that I've got to bring up here. So I wanted to say thank you to the community for showing up big and supporting our senior citizens. Those items, by the way, will be distributed next week on Thursday at Parkview Place Apartments, and then the senior villages of Huntsville, and anything remaining will go to the Meals on Wheels program, which is formerly the Walker County Senior Center. We had a lot of people come by, and you guys yesterday, it was really cool. The BSM, the ladies here at First, prepared a meal for y'all. Tell us about that.
So every Wednesday, the BSM has free lunch. Not just our BSM, but BSMs all over Texas. And those lunches are helped or made by different churches every week. So each church would sign up for 1 week a semester where they would help make lunch and serve it to college students. And it's a great, what an awesome thing to be able to meet with people over free lunch and talk to them and share with them the gospel.
Yeah, man.
And we don't. The greatest thing is that, the churches that help provide, they help also serve, and so we don't have to worry about serving or cooking or any of that. We just have to show up, sit down, have a good gospel conversation.
Except you still do serve, Josh, because you and a couple of guys were over here loading up the food and helping to take it and all that. So
yeah,
you've got a servant's heart, brother, and that's great. So
it's all the Lord, really.
Today is National Letter to an Elder Day today. What an awesome day as you think about somebody in your life who is an elder, an elderly person that you could handwrite a letter to. I want to encourage you to do that. That's my challenge for you today. Is pick up a piece of paper. Don't type it. Pick up a piece of paper. Pick up a pencil or a pen and write a letter to an elder today. Just write it to him. And there's a person that I'm thinking of right now that it's at our church that I'm thinking about writing a letter to today, as I saw that it was National Letter to an Elder. He's had some health problems, been in and out of the hospital lately, but I want to write him a letter today and just let him know the impact that he's had on my life here at First. It's also National Set a Good Example Day today, so make sure you're mindful about what you're doing, especially around your children. Are you setting a good example for them? And also, did you hear about the wizard who went up to the castle and fell down, and then his hair grew out, and then he found a chicken? No, you did. No, you did not. Oh. But it's National Fairy Tale Day, and that's I just made up a fairy tale for you.
It's National Tell a Fairy Tale.
I did. Yeah, I told you one.
Yeah,
I just made it up, and it was horrible. It's the worst one ever. Kind of like that team down south with that logo. It's National Small Dog Day today. Are you a small dog fan, like a Chihuahua type guy? What are those other ones that don't shed? Yorkie? Are you a Yorkie guy?
I'm a medium dog.
Yorkie kind of has your hair. The Yorkie hair kind of favors the Joshua Mahshi.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
You're a medium dog.
I like big dogs. It's just when you have to take them out, or if they do it at home, it's going to be a huge mess.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Big dogs, big messes. Agreed.
Yeah.
And all over everywhere though. Eating everything you can think of that a dog does. With a big dog, it's bigger.
Yeah.
But I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It is also National Chili Day today. Are you a chili fan?
I love chili.
Was chili a thing in Lebanon?
No. So when I started coming here, at first I was like so opposed to the idea of chili. I was like, this is nasty. But then I had it one time, and I was like, this is so good. I love chili. Chili with rice.
I want to mention a few birthdays today. One of them, a lady that I just think the world of. I think the world of her mother, none other than the Irma Dowden and her beautiful mother, Lupe. But today, it's not about you, ladies. It is about Mr. Michael Dowden. It is his birthday today. And so I wanted to wish Michael a very blessed and happy birthday. I know you already know it. You've got an amazing wife. We love Miss Irma and her mother, your mother-in-law, just wonderful women. But today, Michael, it's all about you. So we're going to just say we love you. Happy birthday to Mr. Michael Dowden, celebrating the day today. And I'm thinking pretty soon my son is going to have a birthday in July. That's going to come quick. He's going to turn 3 already. I cannot believe that my son will be 3 years old soon. You know, I forgot about something too. Yesterday was none other than the Carla Christian's birthday. So I wanted to wish a belated birthday to Carla Christian. It was her birthday. She's over at the Josie Scout Lodge, does incredible work here in our community. So happy birthday to her. And also, or actually her birthday was 2 days ago. Also yesterday's birthday, someone that I missed, a very happy birthday yesterday to Laura Green. She is over at CASA doing community outreach and engagement over there. And Laura, we love you and your family, and a happy belated birthday to you. I need to be better about saying birthdays. When's your birthday?
September 18th.
September 18th. You're going to be celebrating the big 2-0.
2-0.
You're moving into the next decade, man.
This is actually terrifying. I'm like, I don't want to be 20.
Nah, you'll be all right, man. It's no problem. No problem at all.
Yeah.
So, hey, real quick, Steve Fountain gave us a message for all of you that are Travis Powell fans. He's a great musician. He will be performing at the Ritz Crockett. That's on March the 28th. And if you mention you are from Huntsville, you can get a special discount. I know a lot of folks follow Travis Powell. Steve, thank you for mentioning that. And also the Prison City Film Festival wrapping up today. So if you get a chance, be a part of that as well. Josh, any final comments? Thanks for hanging out. I got a busy day today, man. The drive went good yesterday, and I'm catching up now because we were doing that for the last 2 days. But I will be down in Riverside a little bit after lunch today. I have the privilege of serving a family. As had a chance to talk to a lady yesterday. Her mother was 90 years old and passed away, and I gave her some encouragement, saying, it's 90, and they had a great relationship, the mother and the grandchildren. And I said, that is such a blessing. I know that there's pain because when I lost my grandmother, I was in a lot of pain. And my mom was in pain. That was her mother. But I go back and I look now and I said, man, I got to spend a lot of time. What a blessing to be alive in general, but what a blessing especially to make it to 90 or plus. That is incredible. So I will be in Riverside today, helping that family out. What do you got going on today, man? Are y'all recording today?
No, I was going to see if we can record on Tuesday. What time will they be done on Tuesday?
Yeah, because I don't know. Hopefully, though. If not, we may have to roll it in here. So
okay.
Yeah.
I'll wait till Tuesday.
Tell us about the show real quick. How's it going? Yeah. Josh does a show. Tell him about the show. The name of it and what y'all do real quick before we go.
It's called Empowered Youth. It airs on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. But also it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so you can go and check it out. It's called Empowered Youth. And I really have a fun time doing it, talking with Chad. We talk a lot about different stuff, but recently, like the past 5 episodes, in 2 episodes we talked a lot about evangelism and going out to share our faith. And I think that's the biggest part of our faith, is to go and share the hope that we have, because we really do have a hope in Jesus Christ, because he took on our sin and our shame and bore it on the cross so that he can redeem us and bring us back to life. And that is the greatest miracle ever. So, yeah.
Amen, man. Watch the show. It's also on all your major podcast platforms like Spotify and like Apple Podcasts. You can find it, Empowered Youth. You guys are 5 episodes into this now, right? Coming up, right?
No. Now we're going to be filming 6.
6 episodes.
On Tuesday, yes.
That is awesome. Well, hey, Huntsville, we love you. Thanks for hanging out with us today on a Thankful Thursday. As always, big thank you to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers, helping to make this show possible. For all your jewelry needs, he's online at elliotsjewelers.com. And, of course, First Baptist Church Huntsville. We couldn't do it without the support of the church here. Jason is out today. We miss you, Jason. I know, taking care of his family. And also, we couldn't bring this show all across all of these platforms if it wasn't for our friends at Huntsville Memorial Hospital. They have been serving this county and community for many, many years, and we thank them for their generous support. So whenever you think about health care here in this community, think of our friends at Huntsville Memorial Hospital. We've had Joe Shore, who does cardiovascular work over there, many others from the hospital. They are incredible, and we thank them because of their support. That support helps us pay for the platform that we use that puts us out all over so many social media channels. Episode 700 is right around the corner, and so make sure that you stay locked in. Maybe we can do a little lead up to 700. We'll be back tomorrow. Billy Cawthon, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, as we wrap up a great week. And for Joshua Mahshi, I'm Rob Hipp, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, so please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. I promise somebody out there needs you this morning. Good morning. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. See you, Josh.
See you.